Didn't realize I was muted. I don't know what to do other than animate greeny. But she jumps higher, and it's practically the same character controller, just with a different jump height. Yeah, same character controller. I did empty this out from when I duplicated this folder to use. But I also do have to rename this, rename files for Greeny to use, so it's more direct to her. I'm aware that no one's watching live, but I'm just explaining it for when this is noticed. It's possibly a VOD. But yes, these two. I'm gonna turn off Greeny for a moment, because here's how the game's supposed to work. Like, W, A, D, S, Q. You have to wait for the animation to finish. I will be adding a thing. Then holding shift and WASD will make it run a little faster. You can double jump. Hat will fly off, which is also when hair would come into play. Currently there is that model thing due to it being a splice of several different parts of a mesh, but I hope to get it fixed at some point. But for now he's just gonna have purple lines on the side of his head. Then, because I have to manually switch them at this current point, the Cinemachine free look just has these two. Also, yes, I'm using Cinemachine. To anyone that may be wondering, that's just to help. She is extremely buggy with her thing, but she'll move her thing goes crazy because it has no animation and the hitbox variable is not set up, which will showcase that there's absolutely nothing to her. And yeah, she just has a higher jump height is the only difference. Otherwise she's completely animationless. And like purpley, she also has nothing underneath her hat at the current moment, just the eyelashes. And eye animation is controlled by these, which I'm just going to show them all real quick. Oh, yes, I have to turn off the blink. This is its own separate object which controls the blink. It has its own thing for which she uses just the same animators as purpley for the blink, because there's no reason in changing anything since it's exactly the same, which is just 3 different scenes for it, for which I'll just showcase that very quickly. Like, it just looks like this. Like, that's all that those are for. Going to the face animations, for which also the faces are down here, like far below the map, and they'll be set up per world, like area, level, and purpley is 3D with his, but greeny is not. But it's just simply looking forward. There's no looking dizzy yet. It just has the blink things from purpley. Then the hit, for which is the only animation I can't show, in play because I have no enemies selected. Also, the show blink as soon as it hits the first frame. Same for purpley on that, and then look left and right, or just one frame for which it will smooth to, and then up. It's exactly like the others. I'm going to close out of this tab. There's not much else to explain. Also, looking up is the short animation. Then purpley is the exact same set of animations, which I should turn Greeny's blink back on so I don't forget it. Because without it, she doesn't blink. And I'm just going to showcase purpley's unique one, for which they both have a looking dizzy, but it's essentially just their attack. For which he moves male, but it's very hard to see this animation when it's actually used. It's more of just a detail, if anything. He also has a similar mouth movement, but it's slightly different. Looking left, looking right, and looking up. Same animation frames. Again, the only one that's different is the dizzy. Which, in hindsight, I should have named it looking, not looking dizzy, but instead looking hits, so that it would be more separated. Now, I don't know what to do first, whether it's coding or the thing, but I am going to go with a random one and just say that I should probably get coding first, because it's boring to explain, and all it is just having it so that when you have purpley selected, it'll play his portion, but when you have greeny selected, it'll play her portion. For which, if needed, it can swap between the two, which is something I need to figure out. Also, for the sake of it, hitboxes contains the Taurus hitbox, which is player hit there, which just lets us know that it hit an enemy, but there's no enemy tag yet. And then this is just what the shape looks like, just a torus, for which surrounds purpley, and whatever comes in contact with this torus would get hit, because it's a hit box. And there's the capsule collider that surrounds purpley and greeny, letting the game know exactly where they are, which they both have a unique capsule collider, with greeny being a little bit more short. Though I should probably scale down the scale very quickly on hers. Prefab mode below. This is a lot harder to explain than the ones, but point 2 should be good, yeah. But now, that box is scaled down to match greeny, because she has a little bit shorter of a stature. Yeah. Also, she does not have a proper tail attachment, or rig. She has no animation for which the rig uses for it. For example, I can go into purpley's armature and you'll be able to see. Also, the tail for purpley is actually controlled, if I'm going to explain very quickly, is controlled by this target, where it shows the animation over here, shows in the position it's moving from side to side, for which the tail will follow. Which is made to be a loop, so that it can also transition to something like falling. Well, more specifically jump, which then jump will transition to falling, because you can't fall directly without jumping. Also, using the jump calculation, you can have them shove themselves into the ground, the first portion, to allow them to set up the jump and then actually jump. It can look a little bit more realistic, though, when it comes to the gliders. They will shoot up while they stay down, which can be a slight problem in certain scenarios for which I was testing with these platforms, which I still need to test fully. But, falling will just lead back into landed, run is just a faster walk. I do not want to create a clip, which is just a slower run. Actually, I'm going to turn on the samples to just show what the walk looks like without any of the special boxes. These do not turn off. Like, these are only visible in the editor, but they do not turn off. I do wish that I made it so that it would loop perfectly, which I plan on doing for greeny, but in purpley's case it's extremely small movements. They're not the best, but I'm just going to switch it back to purpley, so I can showcase what it's supposed to look like when you look around, because sometimes when you play as greeny, the camera will shoot into her. I forgot to turn off greeny. In play mode though, just move in the same speed in every direction unless you do this. Then greeny's little, like, hitbox problem becomes a true issue. Also, Q acts as a jump, for which I need to also disable. Like, that's not supposed to happen. But all that I will try and debug live. Aside from that, there's not much else to say about them that hasn't been said yet. Oh, someone's here. Do you have any questions about the game? No? You left. Never mind then. But yes, there's a little bit of things to worry about. Also, this is just a little nitpick detail, but the face is a different color green than the body on both of them. If you can sort of see the seam. And in purpley's case, you can actually see a chin for where it clips out of the mask. Because without a face, and if this is how it works, just turn off that. No. Oh, no, I could just turn off this. That's what the outline of the face looks like. It's a better example if I use greeny, actually. Because she doesn't have Daniela, just a blank face. That's the bounds. Or just a mask on the rear away camera. Which with these on you can see the cameras when I have them selected, like, this is the box for her face. They'll not see anything past it, or in front, behind it, or outside of this box. Which can mean I can make this high of a level. Well, level I can go very deep, and not be affected the faces. Which while on this I am going to be moving the mouth forward, just as a precaution. So like 0.5. Yep, everything works. Also, the way that I know everything works is because the hit animation eyes are still shown when I do that. Like, they'll disappear if I do this. Like, no preview, preview. No preview, preview. No preview, preview. No preview, preview. so that they're shown in the one short I put on YouTube on this. They can jump up blocks, they can fall down the blocks, and all that. And after fixing the quick gravity bug that was from me accidentally making the cubes too big, you can now walk underneath them. You cannot go shorter than the characters, because I'm just going to show this for showcase purposes. There's nothing underneath the clothing. Like, all that is seen is what is modeled and everything else is not. Same goes for greany. Like, it's just legs. And then it just goes into the void of nothingness. What else is there to explain that I didn't just explain? Oh. The other thing is the Cinemachine brain that's here, but that just connects to this. Not that. This. So I should probably move the ground up. So that's with these as collisions. But I'm just going to move it to the top since it's space. Well, to make things a little bit more visible though, I am going to be making a test folder. And this should just allow me to make a test material that allows me to make everything visible, so I'm just going to use the color yellow. Make everything a little bit more visible when the lighting's on. And then I'm going to make everything else test 2, which I'll be making red. So it's just a little bit easier on showcasing. So again, you can get up here, you can go back down, and all that. Everything's also lit up, so like if you go around the model or spin it around, it will also act with light, because that's just Unity engine. Actually, I still have yet to test this with greany, so I'm just going to do it very quickly, but you can walk off the edge as well. Okay, she can fall as well. Then I could just move these back to 0. Cool. Okay, that should fix most problems, yes. And again, greeny just dumps higher. Otherwise, there's practically no difference. Well, other than visually, also, Granny's leg is broken at the current moment. I do plan on fixing that when I get to work on, well, like once I get, I don't have it on my taskbar, but I would show Blender, but my Blender doesn't work on like this computer. So at the current moment I am working with what I have, so half broken greeny models what I'm gonna have to work with. Actually, does her rig work in play mode? I have yet to test this. Well, the best way to test it actually would be to just no. Her rig does not work in play mode. Again, the rig is just the tail and the arms. the legs. I'm tired. Well, I'm gonna get to work on Greany's animations, because actually working on those things probably would be too boring for most people. Okay, what does Greeny have? Attack, falling, idle, jump, landed, run, and walk. I'm just gonna work on the idle for now. Greeny underscore idle. I'm just gonna double check it real quick. Oh, it's idle underscore greeny. And this would be her unique little animation. And I'm just going to override it. Just go into here. Nice. I'm going to bring her to position. Also, their feet don't actually touch the ground. But for in the case of her, I am actually going to make her feet touch the ground. Okay, so with the arms, I'm going to do the same thing. Bend them down a bit. And the tail, I'm just going to double check is at the tip. Okay, the tail's not properly set up for her tail though. Like, it's incredibly broken for at the moment. Aside from that, I should now be able to go to here and just go to 5 so I can delete these frames. Just up the hip, the other hip, rotation of the lower body, position of the root, rotation of the upper body, the shoulder rotation. The head rotation. Hat rotation, and then the hat has the extra special thing of whoop. Now I'm just going to move this back to local. Oh yeah, her normals and everything are broken, so it's best not to put it in local. Okay. Well, hat done. Oh, I almost forgot. I have to bring down the roots. To about there. Again, the body and the face have different animation sets. So that should be everything set up for this. So now trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to make her move. Like for example, should I go back to greeny because he's the best example. I meant purpley because he's a better example. Like, he's just bobbing along, ready for the adventure, happy as could be, tapping his toe in patience, his head slightly bobbing to everything, and everything's all fine. Like, not a care in the world, other than what his plan is. And then Greeny. I do not know what to do with Greeny. Like, I could do the exact same thing, but that would be very repetitive to have two playable characters do the same thing. Oh, almost forgot one very important thing. The left arm, the right arm needs to be rotated so that the hammer's facing like that. Which I have to go in through here. The hammer doesn't actually get much to it, else than what's readily available. Okay, that's everything into position. So now in animation, everything should be well. Got to account for the fact I'm rotating the arm back upward. That's possibly just 0. Yeah, it's 0. Just to go from that, I'm probably just gonna make her bop along as well, I guess. But at a slower rate. And not very extreme. Bring up the shoulder rotations. To imitate breathing. Which her breath is also much slower since she's using a hammer, not spinning every 5 seconds. And like purpley, I'm going to have her tail wag. Oh, I won't be able to see it till I fix the model. So, right, left, and it just resets in the middle. So now if I've done that correctly, it should now. There, that should allow for a little wag. And then time for the little animation details, like a little bop along to initialize the fact that she has landed, for which the hat will follow, which is a little inverse to what purpley's is, where the hat actually goes up. Now she feels more alive. Now to see it in action. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. The animator, as I do the animations, I have to fill them in. So now she has. Oh. Yep, so the animation works. I stated, she's a lot more slower and calmer. Now to double check that in this oh, I know it's wrong. She sort of floats. That is easily fixable though, which I'll just show very quickly. Again, she does not have that animation, so it's going to keep giving me that error. So to fix that, what you do is bring down the root. It's going to bring to there. And that frame will be the new one for here and here. And then copying the thing, just downward motion. And that should allow her to bend her legs and arms in a more realistic fashion. Yep, slight movements, intact. Well, there's big movements, but when it comes to making her rig, they made it so her hand feels like it's stuck in place with the hammer. Only moving on certain strokes. Animation. Then see it in action again. Yep, everything seems to be in order. Again, she has no animation for jumping. For the idol, she'll now move. I think I forgot one thing. See, I made an edit to this first frame to make it sure that it properly loops. It's best to just copy that to the other side. And look at the curves. Yep, everything seems to be in order. Now purpley moves. Fortunately, I'm gonna disable purpley and switch back to greeny as playable. Debug everything. I don't think it's safe to hear. Nope. 0.8. 0.8. Now she should be standing on the ground, for which she is. Her animations will cancel out if we do anything more than idle, and she'll just stand there. Perfection. I will be copying over purpley's walk and jump though. Like rock, run, walk. I'm just copying them over and renaming them. And then editing them. There's no reason in making a whole new walk cycle for something that you barely see. So I will be making edits to better match the character of Greeny. That I can hear set the walk, set the run. Just gonna delete that duplicate. Okay, the next would be a tail jump, which, yeah, everything's set up now. So now, when she moves, I just mean the animation to be, well, that's not intended. She skips. Oh, hi. I didn't realize that you have commented, Cappuccino. Hello. I am doing good. Now to edit the animation to better match Greeny. The first thing I would need changed would be the root position, because that puts her into her position. Again, I do plan on remaking these once the new greeny model is made. Well, and or this one's fixed. But for now, she can walk. She can run. Which is more of a skip for her, which is not intentional, but it does kind of match what dogs do. I could do directions at once, still breaks them. Which I will be programming a safeguard against that as well. So what's the next animation that needs done? So I'm not doing an attack until I get those, well, at least a model made for them. Which I most definitely will probably struggle with. So, just jumping. I'll do that tomorrow though. But for now, have a nice night. I'm just gonna end the stream here because there's not really much else that is fun to watch. Cause I don't even know if watching me animate for like this long is even enjoyable at this point. There's just the same thing over and over again being this, moving bars. And mostly just copy and pasting what works. Oh, I just realized something.